I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I'm looking at attaining excellence. And I started with the Malcom Gladwell theory of the 10,000 hour rule for excellence in his book Outliers. And I was checking the biography of Malcolm Gladwell. I was pleasantly surprised to see that his great-great-grandmother was an Igbo woman. And I don't know how the thing mixed in my mind. And I said I wanted to look at the Igbo apprenticeship scheme and their financial excellence. Some universities have done a research on the Igbo apprenticeship scheme and the Alaba international market, and they came out with a conclusion that the Igbo apprenticeship scheme, particularly in Alaba market, has produced more millionaires than all the Nigerian universities have produced. It's questionable because some of those millionaires in Alaba market also attended Nigerian universities. Now, I just admire some races or some nationalities, and for each ethnic nationality in Nigeria, there are things I respect about them. I respect the Yorubas for their humility. I respect them for their parables. I respect them for their poetry. I respect them for their academic excellence. I respect the northerners, the northern parts of Nigeria, for their diligence. When I mean you see somebody rearing cattle, he is going with the cattle over a long distance. Patience, consistency. And I like the way they bury their people. That's why I said if I die, my children should just wrap me with cloth and just bury me and go away. Don't waste my money on frivolities. Instead, use it to give scholarship to children, to people, particularly the village girl child. So now, I want to look at the Igbos and their apprenticeship scheme. An Igbo boy and the 10,000 hour rule. An Igbo boy is taken from the village with the intention of being a boy to a master, for him to eventually become a master. So there is intentionality involved. There is intentionality. And most times, they bring people from their families. And remember my first video, my other video about why the Igbos excel in business. And the trauma of the Civil War and the deprivation they experienced, they wanted to compensate for that by being successful in business. And I also would want to mention Enugu Rangers then, that brought hope to the Igbo man by winning trophies, brought hope, and some musicians, Oliver the Coke and the rest people of Sadebe. So now, the Igbo apprenticeship scheme, this boy on a daily basis, excepting weekends, will learn and learn and learn this business, gradually exposed to the process of the business, exposed to customers for some years before he is settled. And so he acquires experience, he acquires skills, he acquires a network, and then he acquires money to start with, and sometimes goods to start with, sometimes a store to start with. No wonder they excel. I give you an illustration. There is a church I preach in Aba. It is called the City of God Bible Church. The president of the ministry, my brother Nonso Edwin, had a young man that served him, and then he settled that young man. after some years, that young man became a multi-millionaire. I won't call his business name. And then he subsequently took some young men to mentor. And I went to preach in one of their branch churches, and the topic was money is an idiot, somewhere in Osisioma. And this boy that served Reverend Nonso Edwin came with his choir, a rich man, rich young man with his own choir. And his choir sang. And a leader of the church asked, how many of you in this church served under this young man that is leading this choir? And several millionaires stood up. Several millionaires stood up. So, Nonso Edwin, the general overseer of the church, raised this businessman. This businessman has raised several millionaires who are taking other young Igbo boys to become his apprentices, and they will subsequently become millionaires. And in that his choir, he had 14 boys. They wore the same clothing. He imports textiles. And asked him, how many of them are with you? He said 14. These 14 will be free and become 14 millionaires. So that's how the Igbos are replicating millionaires, as if they are replicating, and I can't say now. Now, how do you people manage? He said they wake up very early. I can't remember whether 4:30 or 5 a.m. They wake up, they do morning devotion, then they sing. Then by 6, they are heading towards the market. By the time you receive this training consistently over a period of time, you will not be sloppy in business. You will be fervent in business. If an Igbo man is running a business near you, he will wake up and come there earlier than you, who is a native. He will close later than you, who is a native. He will hustle for customers more than you. Hey, I have it, come. And the way they treat my wife, when you get to Onitsha, I will call you. Solicit, you will come. And then when you finish buying, he will tell his boy to help you carry his load to the market. These are practices they have learned over a period of time. So the power of the 10,000 hour rule. Now, when a skill stays in a place for so long, it enters the genes of the people. It becomes it affects the genes of the people. If you like, doubt me. If you go to Igun Street in Benin, where most probably the Festac mask was fabricated, you will see that nearly every person there is doing bronze work. So it has become part of their nature. Nurture can affect genes. And so that consistent mentoring, consistent improvement, consistent exposure, consistent acquisition of skills makes the Igbo man excel. And Ado Eriri was teaching on the power of repetition. Repetition. That's why you will see the Onosode family, but they had 5 chartered accountants. The senator representing us, Delta Central. 5 was from that family. 5 chartered accountants. Father, the whole family, chartered accountants. That's why you see in some families, if somebody becomes one thing, it is easier for the next to become. Abedi Pele Ayu. His 2 sons, he played for Marseille. His 2 sons played for Marseille. At the same time, in one match, he captained Ghana. His son captained Ghana. Okay, so we are talking about attaining excellence. And the football skills could be in the genes of Abedi Pele Ayu, transmitted to the children. But let me tell you one thing. If a man is designed to be an athlete in Africa, and he's supposed to win the 100 meters final in the Olympics, if you don't give him the training and the exposure, he might be very good at pursuing antelopes and end up as an excellent hunter. So you need the training, the mentoring, methods, materials, money, and mentors for him to do well. Somebody I talked about, Orascom, the owner of Orascom Telecom, Mo Ibrahim. He said that if Barack Obama had grown up in Kenya, most probably he would have ended up as a bus conductor. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki, the area grandfather, the global grandfather, and the bishop of developmental Christianity. We can't be going to Israel for pilgrimage while Africa is backward. Subscribe to this channel. Send a message to +234 7052 136763 to join my online real estate program that is coming up on the 9th of March by 7 p.m. Nigerian time. I will send you a flyer if you send me the message. God bless you.